suggestions now of the need for action if these case numbers are rising. So let's face it, we've learned the hard way from back in March, but I think we're in a really negative situation now that nobody wants to deal with more restrictions introduced and probably looming.
How many lives are going to be saved with the national lockdown, and how many lives will it cost? This is the equation that politicians have to wrestle with, isn't it? It's not just lives, it's the economy. They have to look at all factors, don't they? So this is not entirely a medical issue.
No, well, interestingly, it's often talked about as lives versus the economy, Andrew, as you know, but actually it's lives versus lives. Because if you look back to 2008, when we had the last bad recession, there were over 900,000 cases of preventable illness and death caused by unemployment, poor housing, all kinds of things. So it's a really, really tricky situation. You know, I've been trying to remain optimistic over the last few weeks. And yesterday, just listening to our First Minister up here, I really felt, you know, we've tried so hard to do the right things, and you know, if you look to what's happening in Europe in terms of their hospitalizations and their rising deaths, you know, that's what concerns me. So I think this circuit break, I think the idea of introducing it over half term is ludicrous, because half term is what, in the middle of October? So I think, you know, I'm pretty confident probably all of the UK is going to see more restrictions next week, but maybe not complete lockdown.
Can you tell me why we don't have this full capacity 500,000 tests until the end of October? Because the calendar hasn't moved.
Exit the roundabout onto the slip road.
To work back on the public transport, people went back into schools and the economy got moving again. We knew that people...
In a quarter of a mile, merge onto M4.
told that we could go out to restaurants and that we should go out and spend money and do our bit. So this spike absolutely inevitable, as Boris Johnson has said. So where has the capacity for the testing gone?
So I mean, I just think testing in the UK has been really unfortunate from the beginning. We moved too slowly to develop more testing capacity, and I'm finding it really astonishing that you do everything that people are saying that we should have expected this rise. Because actually, when our schools went back in Scotland over 3 weeks ago,
Continue on M4 for 5 miles.
so in response to your question, where is it wrong? There are a couple of issues. It's the capacity in relation to the labs, particularly the large high-mix labs. We don't have enough of them at the moment. We can do the tests, but we can't process them. The other thing, you know, my colleagues have been discussing, of course, you've had this unfortunate situation where lots of PhD students and postdocs working in those labs for the summer, and they would not have the working cash basis of that. So now there's this big barrier pushing in. I just think the logistics and the planning around this have not been optimal.
along junction 6 for Slough to junction 5 for Windsor because of works. In Norbury, Rowan Road is blocked. That's because of a police investigation near to Church Walk. In Mitcham, Commonside East is closed. That's both ways, also because of a police investigation between Man Road and Cedars Avenue. On the tubes, there is no service on the Circle Line via King's Cross and Pancras between Hammersmith and Tower Hill. Also between Edgware Road and High Street, Kensington. And there's no service on the Metropolitan Line from Baker Street and Aldgate because of engineering works.
LBC. Nissan Sunderland factory is building cars again, and we're ready to get Britain moving. That's why this summer selected Nissan models come with a 3-month payment holiday, plus free roadside assistance, all at only 0% APR representative. We've built the cars, we've built the offers. Now it's time to get you back in the driving seat. See how we can help you at nissan.co.uk/payment holiday. And together, let's move beyond. PCP Nissan Finance. Order and register by 30th September 2020. Participating dealers only. Nissan. Innovation that excites.
Did you know that financial support from the government could be available to you? You may be able to get help if you've lost your job or if your income has...
In 2 miles, at junction 3, take the A312 exit to Harrow, Hayes.
For employment and benefits help. Eligibility criteria apply. At Ring, we've reinvented the doorbell. So no matter where you are or what time of day, you can watch over your home and the things you care about. Ring Video Doorbell streams HD video and two-way talk straight to your phone, so you can speak to whoever's at your door from anywhere.
Delivery.
Oh, great. Can you leave around the back, please?
Sure, no problem.
And it's so simple, you can install it yourself in minutes. See, hear and speak to whoever's at your door from wherever you are with Ring Video Doorbell. Available at ring.com and selected retailers.
Have a painting party, they said. It'll be fun, they said. Turns out, Prosecco and paintbrushes don't mix, and you can't always trust your friends to decorate your house. Thankfully, at trustedtrader.com, you can find plenty of vetted, reviewed, reliable professionals in an abundance of trades. Like a painting pro, minus the Secco. After all, friends are for painting the town, not the walls.
At Morrison's, we're making price cuts on the things you buy every week. Like your breakfast favourites. A 6-pack of croissants was £1.50, now 99p. And 454 grams of raspberry jam was 65p, now 59p. And these prices will be held low. Morrison's, making price cuts. Majority of stores are online, subject to availability.
Andrew Castle on LBC. Call 0345 6060 973. Nina has called on, hasn't called, she's texted this morning. She says, what is this 4-day wait in lockdown in my area? I don't understand. Well, I agree, you're talking about Blackpool, aren't you? There's Lancashire and...
In a quarter of a mile, at junction 3, take the A312 exit to Harrow, Hayes.
restrictions more difficult to live with, but Blackpool not until Tuesday. So people say we don't go to Blackpool for one last hurrah. People go to Blackpool for a last hurrah all the time. But that's a good point. Series and Bromley says the real issue is not the high number of...
Exit at junction 3.
Death rate, which is actually low. There's no logical reason for lockdown whatsoever. It's madness. And it needs to stop now. Sweden had no lockdown. And then
In a quarter of a mile, at the roundabout, take the 3rd exit onto the Parkway, A312.
That's true or not. People are still getting COVID, they're still getting ill over there, and their lockdown was based upon people's common sense and community spirit. In fact, you know, you could only, at restaurants in Sweden, order from tables, things like that. People weren't mixing at bars. Music did stop earlier. They don't have live performances like we had. If they did, all socially distanced. And people, look, it's a totally different size and scale as well. Let's be honest, this country is completely different. But I take your point completely about Sweden, but herd immunity they certainly do not have. One more of these before I go to you, Joe, in Boreham Wood. Let's live under house arrest for the rest of our lives. That's the only way people won't catch it. It's ridiculous, says Anne in Stourbridge. They should lock down those minority of people who are at risk, not the majority who won't even know they have got it. And that's the problem, isn't it? We all know that COVID-19 is a horrible disease to get. We all understand the implications of getting it for some people. But then we remind ourselves that half the people who get it, possibly as many as 80%, show no symptoms whatsoever and are not affected by it. And yet we have to all suffer the consequences.
Exit the
of these
roundabout onto
restrictions
the
to our life,
parkway.
to our liberty, to our business, to our prospects. And that's difficult to take. So where are you on this? When Boris Johnson says it was inevitable that we would see a second wave.
Continue on the parkway for 1 mile.
0345 606 0973. My heart sank yesterday evening, even though he wasn't saying anything we didn't already know. Hello, Joe. How are you? Good morning.
Hi, I really enjoy your shows. Everything you've said so far has made sense.
Great, Joe. You and me are on the same wavelength. I, however, am really confused because I don't know what the right thing is to do here.
Yeah, I think personally, you know, what a lot of people are forgetting is that last time it was in the summer it happened. This time it's in the winter.
Yeah.
And it's going to mix in with a lot of other things, you know, with flu and measles and things like that. You know, it's going to be, and it's going to put pressure on the NHS. And a lot of people, you know, shielding.
Yeah.
You know, where I live in Bournemouth, there was a sign put up in the roundabout, you know, stay at home, save lives. And some hooligans removed that. I mean, I see people in pubs not distancing. I see people 4, 5, 6 in a car. I mean, they're losing all respect for this government. I mean, I don't like the way that Boris Johnson said on TV yesterday in his builder's hat. That the calm way that he said that a lot of people might be dying. You know, it's easy for him to say that. You know, the way that he said it with a smile on his face. I mean, it's an absolute disgrace. I mean, you're quite right. Sweden is a lot smaller than us.
In a quarter of a mile at Wagoners Roundabout, take the second exit and stay on the parkway, A312.
There are cultural differences, I have to say. Joe, pleasure speaking with you. Stick around. Pleasure to have your company here on OBC. 24 minutes past 7 is the time. Well, we're talking about Boris Johnson's manner of his delivery there, just for a second. At the liaison committee earlier on this week, when Boris Johnson was talking about theatres and live performances, and he got into one of those kind of, you know, I don't know how to describe it really, annoying, irritating, sort of bouncy moods where he was going, there'll be a ticket to ride about people's lives in that dismissive way and things that they have
exit the roundabout onto the parkway.
For and tried to
continue on A312 for 1.5 miles.
You know, and I probably shouldn't be, you know, having a go at him, but he can't help the way he talked, but still got under my skin. 25 minutes past 7 is the time. US Supreme Court Judge Ruth Bader Ginsburg has died at the age of 87, complications from pancreatic cancer. Justice Ginsburg died at her home in Washington, D.C., surrounded by her family. She was appointed to the Supreme Court by President Bill Clinton way back in 1993, a champion of women's rights. She became an icon for American liberals. And now she has to be replaced at this most delicate, sensitive, and sort of political time ahead of the November election. So there's going to be a blooming great row about it. Bob Mulholland is a member of the Democratic National Committee and party strategist based in California, a long-time friend of Joe Biden. Bob Mulholland, thank you very much indeed for joining us. Good morning. Good morning to you. So firstly, sad news that Justice Ginsburg has left this world. Actually, a great woman. How did America see her?
We are at a big disappointment. We all knew that she was very ill. She's been in and out of the hospital, but politically, and she felt this way. She hoped she'd make it to next year after Joe Biden was sworn in. But tonight, Friday night, was a loss for America, a loss for the Democratic Party, and certainly a loss for those of us in the Joe Biden operation trying to elect Joe Biden, because for a long time it's been, this campaign's been about the bad economy under Trump, COVID-19, 200,000 Americans dead so far. But now, clearly with Ruth Bader Ginsburg gone, a lot of the campaign will shift to the Supreme Court. And I think in many states it'll probably get more votes for Trump. I'm not so sure it does much in the swing states, and that's where the battle will be. Places like my home state of Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Michigan. So it's unknown, and it's unknown whether the Senate, the U.S. Senate, which is controlled by the Republicans and Trump, will actually vote on this prior to the election, because several of the Republican senators are in a right now, if the election was this week, they'd all be out of office. 3 or 4 of them, and the Democrats would take over. But the new U.S. Senate, even though we have elections November 3rd, the new U.S. Senate won't be sworn in until the first week of January.
So obviously your man, Bob Mulholland, your man, Joe Biden, I mean, he wants the next justice on the Supreme Court to be selected, and after November, because he may be president and he can choose who he wants on there. What do you think Donald Trump will do?
Well, I think Donald Trump will talk about it a lot because he understands that the more Trump talks about it, the more about wiping out abortion rights in America, which has been the rights of law since 1973. It will inspire some more of those types of voters who normally don't vote, don't really pay much attention, maybe have a high school education, and Trump talking about, hey, I'm going to put on a judge who's going to outlaw Roe v. Wade, the abortion rights law. And that will inspire those people, hey, maybe I better get registered. And so Trump will talk about it a lot, because talking about COVID hurts Trump politically, talking about the bad economy hurts Trump politically, talking about some of the other things, Social Security and healthcare generally. So this is politically a plus.
In a quarter of a mile, turn right onto Roslyn Avenue.
Thank you very much indeed. How are the polls over there at the moment? Is Joe Biden still ahead?
Oh yeah, nationwide as well as in the key states. We have an old system from the 1700s of how we elect presidents based on state by state. And right now Biden is ahead enough.
Turn right onto Roslyn Avenue, then turn left onto Harlington Road West.
Almost 50 days to go, so a lot of things could happen, including the death of Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Indeed. Bob Mulholland, thank you, a member of the Democratic National Committee.
Turn left onto Harlington Road West, then your destination will be on